Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer.
He can't really hear this either, so maybe his song.
One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because 32 years ago, guys, I was a dumbass. But today, 32 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. Guys, I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. If anyone needs help, please reach out. All my services to you are free. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. Okay, and guys, if you truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. Guys, I have a really amazing guest here today. Let me introduce him first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about him. His name is George Durham. George, say hello to everyone.
Out there.
So, George, listen, I took a couple notes on you, and to me, you're like an instrumental genius, correct?
Well, I wouldn't call it a genius.
You are. You play
It's a
over
God's
27.
gift.
You play over 27 instruments.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. I'm giving you the mic now.
Okay. I was taught how to play the flute when I was in high school. And when I finished school, I went to college for a year. And I got a job, went to work, put the flute down. I did not pick up my flute no more until I heard James Galway.
Okay.
When I heard James Galway, it blew my mind. I said, I got to pick up my flute. I got to try to make my flute sing. And I said, I got to see James Galway. So I had the opportunity to go to a concert in Clearwater, and I met James Galway in person. James Galway, I asked him, I said, man, how you make that flute sing and make it so pretty? And so I said, well, I play around the hole, over the hole, in the hole. And he just looked at me and laughed. He said, George, that's a $50,000 flute. I say, $50,000 flute? I say, it ought to sing by itself. It don't have to blow in it. So he laughed at me. And I asked him about how he double tongue and triple tongue. And he asked me, he said, well, what technique that you use? And I said, tuka tuka. He said, tuka tuka is too sharp. Try dooga dooga. So I tried that. And me and my girlfriend, we was going to Pennsylvania. And I practiced dooga dooga all the way from Florida to Pennsylvania. When I got to Pennsylvania, I was tie-tonguing. I talked like I had a speech impediment. But when I got back to Florida and when I got on the flute, I was doing it. And thanks to James Galway, he's a great musician. He also is a great teacher, too.
All right, so you say tied tongue. We, as New Yorkers, say tongue-tied.
Oh, okay.
So, what, all right, I know this might be a tough question for you because you play more instruments than anyone I've ever interviewed. And I've interviewed a ton of incredible musicians, right? What are your few of your favorite? Of course, the flute. But what other ones are your favorite instruments?
Oh, okay. Well, I met B.B. King.
Yes.
And I was at a concert with some older friends of mine, and I was standing close to the stage, and I was looking at B.B. King playing Lucille. And B.B. King walked up to the edge of the stage and laid his pick in my hand.
Oh my
And
gosh!
it's got his name on it with B.B. King, and it's a heavy pick. And that inspired me to start want to learn how to play a guitar. So when I came home, I went to a pawn shop, bought me an old beat up guitar, and bought me a Mel Bay book, chord book, and I started teaching myself how to play the guitar. And I got where I can, play chords. I kept working at it. It took me a while, and then after a while I put it down. I say, hey, I ain't gonna never be able to play this thing. Then I went back at it again, and it's just like magic started happening. And then I had friends, I used to go and see them play, and I seen this boy play with his guitar with his fingers instead of a pick. And that blew my mind. I said, I gotta learn how to play with my fingers. And then I learned how to play with my fingers. Then I had a friend that lived in Tennessee, and I used to go and visit him up in Mountain City. And a lot of people around up there, they like country and bluegrass. So I bought me a banjo, and I said, I'm gonna teach myself how to play the banjo. So I worked at that and got me a banjo book, and I started teaching myself how to chord, play the banjo and straight strum and alternating picking. Then I learned from a friend of mine how to claw hammer. And then I learned how to claw hammer. Then me and my wife, we went down to the Trinidad, and I saw these steel pan guys down there playing the steel pan. That blew my mind. I bought me a steel pan, and I said, I'm going to teach myself how to play a steel pan. And my wife looked at me, and she said, you paid $2,500 for that pan. And I said, yeah, and I'm not going to use this thing to make a stir-fried chicken or either some stir-fried beef. I'm going to learn how to play this. And so I taught myself how to play that. Then I bought me a soprano saxophone because I heard Kenny G. And Kenny G blew my mind. And I bought me a soprano saxophone, and I blowed on that till my neck was hurting. I got a headache. My neck was hurting. And I said, I'm going to play it till I get that sound. And I worked at it till I got that sound. So then I went from the soprano sax. Then I got the alto sax. Then I bought a tenor sax. Then I bought a C melody sax. And then I got into that and started, playing different songs and learning the fingering on the saxophone, on the tenor sax and the alto sax and the C melody sax. Then I bought a bass flute and an alto flute and E-flat flute. And with the E-flat flute, you got a tighter embouchure on an E-flat flute, and then when you're playing the piccolo. So I learned how to play that. And then I bought an oboe, and I taught myself how to play the oboe. And then I got into the marimba. A friend of mine, he had a marimba, and he died. His wife gave me the marimba. And then I said, I'm going to teach myself how to play the marimba. And I seen guys that play with 4 sticks and 2 sticks. I said, I'm going to learn how to play that. So I worked on it, and I started playing that. Then I got the conga drums and the timbales, and I started beating on them and learned how to make beats with it. And then I got the keytar, which my sister, when I was a kid, my mom sent her to the church to learn how to play the piano. And I wanted to learn how to play piano when I was 8 years old. But they sent my sister, but they wouldn't send me. So I sat there and watched my sister. She practiced her, songs out the book. And I was just 8 years old. And I sat up there and played the same thing she played. She knocked me off the bench and made me cry. She's 7 years older than me. But I don't know. It's just a God's given gift. And then, and the girl that sang in my band, she told me, she said, I don't know what it is. He sees something. If he touch it, it won't be long. He'll be playing it.
So I want to comment on what you just said. It is a God-given gift.
Oh, yeah.
And,
most definitely it is.
You know, there's a poem in my book I'm going to be reading, and I usually read it during entertainer shows and all that. It's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents from God. And you have certainly done that. I mean, I don't know anyone who plays as many instruments as you and who are good at it. And it's almost like you don't even have to make an effort. You just pick up that one and say, I'm going to learn that one now and do it.
Yeah. And that's the same thing that happened when I started recording myself, playing all the instrumentation on my CD. And I was flying to El Paso, Texas to visit a friend. And at the time when I was in the plane and I'm looking at the clouds below me and I'm floating above the clouds and I'm looking down the earth, and this song came into my mind and I named it Breezy Flute. And that song come to me. I'm flying in the plane looking down at the earth and the people that I know down on the earth. Here I am gliding with the wind in the air. And I felt like, hey, I'm like an angel. I'm above the earth. And Breezy Flute, which is on my CD, it was a nice, beautiful piece that I made that you can sit down and relax and listen to it. It take your mind off of anything that, trouble you. It's just a nice song that I made. And then I had a friend that took me for a ride on an airboat. And it was my first time riding an airboat. And just from the breeze of the air riding through the sawgrass, I came up with this song I wrote and made called Winds Over the Everglades. And when I finished the song and made a CD, and me and my wife, we went to Canada. And I had joined Taxi, and I sent copies of my song to Taxi. And my song was selected for one of the movies for Secretariat.
Wow.
Winds Over the Everglades.
Hold that thought.
And it's nice.
Wait, hold that thought. Ruben, do we have that song, The Winds? Hold that thought. All right, continue, because that'll be the first one we'll play. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And that song, I came up with that idea from riding on an airboat.
Okay. All right, you know what? Let's play it. All right, producer, let's play Winds. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. So you wrote that. That's called Breezy. George, can you hear
Breezy
me?
flute.
Breezy Flute. Now, the other one you mentioned, do we have that one? What's the one with wind?
Winds over the Everglades.
Do we have that one, producer? Winds over the Everglades? That's the one you played? Or what about Breezy? You have Breezy? All right, so let's play. So wait, you just played the Winds over the Everglades? All right, so now let's play Breezy. Okay.
Yeah, one was about the airboat, and the other one is from a plane.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What are the other two songs, producer, we have? Hold on a minute. I want you to talk about these two songs, that's all. Hold on 1 minute. Do you see?
You have Skipper's Bay or Boy or Bow?
Skipper's something. Is this
Skipper's Bop.
okay? And what's the other one? Hold on, George. Okay.
Okay.
Winsome Smile?
Winsome Smile.
Winsome Smile.
I want you to talk about those two songs right now.
Okay. Winsome Smile is when I met my wife. And I was sitting in a restaurant with some guys that I hang around with. And my wife and her cousin and her husband. And they were, come in there and have dinner. And so it was the eye contact between her and me. And then she had this smile on her face. And I had this affectionate feeling from her smile. And then I approached her and asked her what her name. And she told me. And I told her I thought that she was a very pretty lady. And we talked for a little while. And I asked her, could I take her out on a dinner date? And I did. I took her to my friend's restaurant, which he owned a restaurant in Winter Haven. And it was a fine dining restaurant. And we would sit down and we ate and we talked. And then I told her that, after we left, I told her I'd like to see her again. I gave her my phone number. So she called me and we talked. And come to find out, we like dancing. So we went out dancing together. And then her cousin and her boyfriend, we started hanging together and they liked my company. So, it was just that attachment.
Yeah.
But that's what Winsome Smile, I wrote that song. It's about her.
That's beautiful. Now tell us a little bit about the other song.
Skipper's Bop is about when we went to Miami. And we was out on Miami Beach and seeing the coconut trees and the salt water. And I went to the place where they filmed Gilligan's Island down in Miami Beach.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. All right.
And that's what Skipper's Bop is about, about a boat cruise, little ship, and down in Miami Beach and down going toward the islands. And I came up with that idea. And all this, like they say, the mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yep.
And I visualize hearing these things from being in different environments. And then I utilize it in my studio and things start, say, okay, I try this or I try this. And then things start formatting. And next thing I know, I got a whole formation, just like putting a puzzle for a picture, putting all the pieces together.
George, you're amazing. I want to be able to play these last two songs because I know we had a rough start. Producer, do me a favor. We're going to play both songs back to back. Play the Skipper one first. I thought of Gilligan's Island when you even said the title. All right, here we go. George, that's beautiful, man. I have
Hey,
to
thank
tell
you.
you. I have to tell you. Listen, I am so impressed with you. You are definitely a genius, a musical genius. I don't care what you think, but God gave you this incredible talent, and He created you as a musical genius. I hope you really get that. Amazing.
Appreciate it, Jerry. I really
Amazing.
appreciate it. I thank God for all that, and I thank God for the people that listen to my music. That it's something that will relax your mind. And I like to say thanks to my friends that I always tell them that, hey, the mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yes.
And listen to me. Use your mind and use your talent, whatever talent you have.
You know, all right, George, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes to say whatever you want to say. Then I'm going to close with this poem, Utilizing Gifts and Talents. Exactly what you're saying, this poem says. Take a few minutes. The mic is yours. Tell everybody out there how to reach out to you. I don't know if you have a website, anything you want to share. The mic is yours.
Okay. I want to say thanks to people that I have met that's been in the music, Ken Brady, also my friend Mike Charlton from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the influences that I have had contact with famous musicians such as Nat Adderley and my friend Tony Gonzalez in Massachusetts, and my family in Dayton, Ohio. And I want to thank my teacher that taught me how to play the flute, Mr. Johnny B. Neal, from the school I went to at Jewett High, Winter Haven, Florida. He was my instructor. He taught me how to play the flute. And everybody that I can't think of.
Rich Merritt. We got to give a shout out to Richie Merritt.
That's right. I was just going to get to Richie Merritt.
Yeah.
I'm not going to forget him. Because Richie Merritt, when I met him, the man was amazing.
Yep.
He's an amazing singer. As a matter of fact, we're going to be together tomorrow night doing a show at the Tampa Bay Golf and Country Club.
Okay. So you know what I think now? I want to say thank you to you, George, for honoring me. We've lost his audio, Ruben, somehow. George, I lost your audio, but that's okay. We're getting ready to close. Yeah, I lost his audio. It's got to be on your connection with the phone. But listen to me,
Yep.
George. Oh, there you go. All right, there you go. Go ahead, George.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was somebody trying to call me just a while ago, and I was trying to cut him off.
Okay, so go ahead. Finish saying what
Yeah.
you're saying.
But hey, whatever your mind sets you to, let your mind release from what's inside of you and share it with the world.
There you go. So, George, I want to thank you for this incredible interview. You are a musical genius. God has blessed you tremendously with your talent. I want to thank everyone for listening, and I want to say share this video. Ruben, instead of us closing with my music today, we're going to close with this poem, okay? So I want everybody who's, struggling with their self-worth, or anyone who thinks maybe they're not worth it, they don't have anything to offer. We all have something to offer, guys. Don't let it go to waste like George is saying, okay? Please listen to every word of this poem. It's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used. God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self-destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, George Durham, will live forever, baby, forever and a day. Go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. And George, that is what you are doing, sweetheart. You are making people smile. So I want to thank you. I love you. You're brilliant. And you are doing what God's asked you to do. Make the world smile through your music. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Geri.
Thank you. Amazing.